I'm going to be talking about how much do I think my degree at UC Berkeley helped get me where I am today. And this is something I sometimes think back on because when I was in high school and in junior college and at UC Berkeley, I really had this idea in my head that, going to a good college is a requirement to get any kind of career that I would think would be worthwhile. And honestly, in hindsight, I don't think that this is a valid line of reasoning. I think I was wrong to have thought that way and to have put as much pressure on myself as I did when I was in school. And I wanted to speak a little bit more about that because, when I was in college, like I was pulling insane hours, studying and giving up my weekends and I just felt like I had to do as well as I could. And I still wanted to maintain a certain work-life balance. Like I would still go on bike rides and try to spend time with my friends and family. But I can't deny that it was extremely stressful, especially being a junior college student and knowing that, if I didn't get an A on this final, I wouldn't get an A in the class. And if I didn't get an A in the class, then my GPA wouldn't be 4. And if it wasn't 4, then I wouldn't be able to, get to UC Berkeley. And it was just like all these things of, it felt like this is a make or break moment in my life right now, and I have to do this. I kind of want to make this video for people who, if you're in that situation, hopefully this is something that kind of calms you down and just, helps you take a step back and reevaluate things and just know that like, honestly, down the road, once you've worked a few jobs or even just one job outside of school, the vast majority of a hiring decision is made mostly on the type of person you come off as in that interview and your relevant experience and how good of a fit they think you'll be on the team. And that's really it. It's not you either went to UC Berkeley or you didn't, or you either went to this really good school or you didn't. It's much more about who are you as a person? Are you going to be a good fit for this type of work? And I think that is definitely something that I didn't fully understand or appreciate when I was in those years of my life. And so hopefully that is something that resonates with people out there. And, so far I've only had one job interview where I can legitimately say that the person who was hiring me said, the only reason you're here right now, and this is one of my early job interviews, they told me that it's just because they know that UC Berkeley is a really good school and that chemical engineering was a hard major, and that's why they were talking with me. And that was it. Like, and so like it got my foot in the door, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get an offer. And that's the key thing there is that like it's not just about going to a school, finishing and graduating. It is about demonstrating during these types of job interviews that you are the type of person that would do well. And to be frank with myself, and I just want to hit home is like, I think you can have a great education and a great experience wherever you go, or even maybe not even going to college. Like if you can find something that just really resonates with who you are and you're good at it and you enjoy doing it and you find it meaningful, I think that your work will speak for itself, especially in these types of job interviews, and you can make it happen. Obviously, it's going to be harder, and part of the reason why going to college in the first place or going to one of these more prestigious schools and doing a harder major is beneficial is that it's about the networks that you form while you're there. Maybe some of your peers who go on to work at really great companies and you stay in touch with them and somehow they can help you get a job interview at a place just by knowing a couple people. And so like that to me is really the only tangible thing I can say that was like very clearly, yes, like if you know people who understand how UC Berkeley's a hard school, like if they're the hiring manager or if they're one of the coworkers who can put in a good word for you with the hiring manager, that's a tangible benefit I think of going to college. But at the end of the day, especially in the world we live in now with the types of software engineering roles, if that's the type of work you want to do, part of the reason why I love software engineering right now is just the fact that it is such a meritocratic system in the sense that they don't care who you are, they don't care where you went to school, they don't care how old you are, they don't care anything except from the quality of your work and how good of a team player are you. And that's it. And honestly, I think that's really all that really matters as as an employee anywhere, or just, in your career. Like, those are the things that should speak for yourself. Like, you shouldn't have to say, oh, well, I went to Berkeley and all these other things. Like, doesn't matter. It's just details. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the work that you do and the impact that that work makes on your customers and the people around you. And so for me, that's something that I just really never felt like I fully understood until more recently. And so that's something I just wanted to share with you guys. But yeah, and obviously, I think it's really hard because, when you're in school, you are told this thing that school is probably one of the most important things you're going to do with your life. It will be the make or break moment of your life. If you get educated, you will go far. If you don't get educated, you won't go far. And it's like, to a degree, I think you can say that there's some validity to that, but I just think, the extent to which I was believing in that wholeheartedly was too much, and it just resulted in a lot of unnecessary stress that I was under. And I think we live in beautiful times where things like YouTube and just free lectures are available to people, where, if you think you can do something, you can learn so much about it, and there are people out there who will help you understand it. And if you can come up with ways of building a portfolio to show that you can do this type of work, then you can go do that type of work. And, an example that I talk about in my own job interviews is how, when I started out at this company I used to be at, I was hired as a customer service rep. Like, I was only supposed to be there to answer phone calls and emails. They didn't care about anything else I was doing. And I felt like I could improve a process that we were having a lot of challenges in by automating our log file analysis, by teaching myself Python, by figuring out how to open up a SQL connection to a database and make queries and interpret the results and generate reports that people could actually understand on the customer service team, by understanding the customers, by being obsessed with the customers, by working backwards from what a good product would look like and figuring out where to dive deep to make that good product a reality. I felt like, it was something that eventually it became my job. I became a software engineer at this company, even though my job was supposed to be in customer service. And that's why they hired me, was because, I had a bit of an engineering background in chemical engineering. I did a little biotech concentration. So hopefully I can understand some of the science stuff that was tossed around. But, I just want to emphasize that I feel like in this day and age, no matter who you are, I believe, and I hope that other people can also believe, that there is a lot of mobility you can do. And if you're unfortunate enough to be at a company where they're telling you like this isn't something that's possible, and that, you're only paid to answer phone calls and do emails, and you feel like you're trapped in that role and you're not allowed to grow, I think definitely it would be time to look at other places to work, because I guarantee you there are places out there, there are hiring managers out there who, like I had, are encouraging people to say, look, as long as you can do your primary role, if you think you can do other stuff outside of that would help the team in some way, and you can come up with some business justification for it, I think you can go really far and grow. And to me, that's what I think my career is all about, is just growing, learning new things, trying new things, and exploring. So I just want to share that with you guys. I hope this stuff's helpful. Thank you again for watching. And, just so I can give like a little bit of credit to UC Berkeley, or to the college system in general, I think it's really about teaching you how to approach problems, how to learn stuff quickly. And, if that's something you can do on your own, great, do it and demonstrate that you can do that. But, for someone like me, maybe I did need that bit of structure in my life to have a professor saying, look, we've got a midterm next week, you've got a presentation tomorrow, you have to be ready to learn and talk thoroughly and comprehensively about this subject that I honestly am not really familiar with. And, that comes up all the time in work too. So like, there are overlapping areas that hopefully you will grow in as a student. But it's not a requirement, in my opinion, that people really have to go to college to be successful in their career. And, in terms of what is success, that's its own subject. But I want to end things with that. So thank you all for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope everyone out there is doing well, and I'll talk to you guys next time.